Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com. Today I have some odds and ends of different paper pieces that I want to use in my faith planner. Let's go. Today I am working in my larger faith planner, and I've been using a plum paper horizontal planner for 2023, but I'm super excited because I have a faith layout for 2024 that is available on my website. I'm super excited about it, and I wanted to use it for this week. I wanted to go ahead and give it a try. So that's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to redate that first week of January, try this layout for this week and see how it goes. So I have some odds and ends from the Illustrated Faith Do Not Fear kit, which I loved. So a few pieces left from that. I've pulled out some different washi tapes and some pet tapes from Wrong Wrong that I might be including as well. Anyway, I thought I would bring you guys along as I try out this new spread. I'm pretty pumped about it. All right, let's go. Some goals for this particular layout that I was looking for in a faith planner layout. First of all, I didn't want wasted space. Oftentimes when I'm decorating faith planning layouts, I end up covering up huge sections of the layout because I just don't need that space utilized in that particular way. So I wanted to have a layout that I didn't have to do a ton of whiting out. I wanted to just be able to use the layout to add some decor and go for it. I've been enjoying the horizontal layout for faith, and what I like is I like having a place to write out the verse references for what I'm studying that particular day. So generally most years I'm doing a read the Bible in a year type plan. This year I've been doing something a little bit different, working through some different devotionals on the Bible app, but I love writing out the scripture references for each particular day. Generally, I will do that in that box that you see at the end of each section. And then I just love the horizontal lines. It's just an opportunity for me to take a few notes, to write down a few thoughts for the day. And I like this layout. I think it's a nice format for that. The section at the top is what I'm really excited about. I love the idea of a prayer list. I'm someone that often thinks of wanting to pray over specific things, and then when I sit down to do the actual prayer time, I can lose track. So I like the idea of the prayer list on each week, and then a weekly focus, because this particular year I have been doing like a rotation through devotionals. Sometimes I'm doing Illustrated Faith, sometimes I'm doing devotionals from other sources. So I like being able to focus, put an area right there where I can write out that focus, whether it's disciplined quiet time, whether it's spending more time in prayer, whether it's spending more time in quiet, whatever the case is. I like the idea of having a place to notate that, almost like a faith goal for each week. So the impetus for creating this layout and creating this insert was that I wanted a bigger sized faith planner for 2024, and I had not found one in the size that I wanted, in the layout that I wanted. And so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to create my own. So I do have this full insert for 2024 already printed, already punched, already ready to go, and I'm super excited about its release. The other thing that has me pretty darn excited is the paper quality. So I'm obviously a little bit of a paper nerd or a paper snob. I like a thicker paper because I like to do a lot in my different planners. And this one is a really nice feeling thick paper that I think is going to hold up well to all of the things that I put my planners through the entire year, including stamping and things like that, markers, all kinds of stuff. I think are going to really hold up really well in this planner, and I'm pretty pumped to give it a try. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and use it for this week and give it a try. And I had all of these really pretty odds and ends from the Fear Not kit from Illustrated Faith. They release a ton of paper pieces, a ton of goodies in their devotional kits, and I don't always get a chance to use them in my faith planner setup for the month. I don't always get a chance to use all of them in the different Bible journaling entries that I do, and so I like using the odds and ends. They go perfectly with the season, and we're just going to kind of group them in some clusters. You can see I'm using some of the journaling spots. Those will be spots where I can still write over the top of those areas. For instance, in the prayer list section, I can still list out my prayers over there. I can still write out scripture over there on that Saturday moment. And then I loved these inspiration cards that some had scripture, some had just references that are really inspirational throughout the weeks. I had to cut them down a little bit because I didn't have room for all of those really large cards, so I cut a few down to more of a square size so that it can fit in the space. And I'm just going to add those into different parts. I love seeing a decorated faith planner spread. When I sit down in the morning, my morning routine is generally I get up at 5 a.m. every morning. I go and make coffee first thing, and then I head down to my craft studio, which is where I do my quiet time. I pull out my Bible and my planners, sit down with my coffee, and when I open up the planner and it is decorated and ready to go, it makes me feel good. It's a wonderful way to start my day. I read, I write, I pray, and I love the routine. I'm very much a person of routine, and it makes me feel really great to start my routine my morning out with this faith planner. All right, I have most of the larger elements on. Now I'm just repunching some of these holes that got covered up with this acetate piece. I did get a few questions about how to use these acetate pieces. I just use the clear adhesive. It doesn't bother me that it shows through. If it does bother you, then I would suggest using a clear liquid adhesive because that'll be a little bit less in your face maybe with the adhesive coming through, or you can just use a tiny attacher, something like that, to attach these to your page. Obviously, I'm redating this particular spread because it was dated for January. We're going to redate it, and we're going to date it for the last full week of October. The last full week of October, craziness. And I'm going to use some of the stickers from Mojo Jojo Plans. I always love her dated sticker books. She did have a new one that released and sold out really fast, so fast that I wasn't able to get a copy. But I did see her post that she's going to be restocking it, hopefully at the beginning of the new year, and I'll definitely be picking up her new release as well. This washi tape has absolutely been my jam recently. It is like a craft paper grid washi. I love it. It tears like paper, which you all know I love torn paper, and I'm going to use it in different parts of the spread. When I create clusters like this, it's all about the details. It's all about finding those little, just adding little bits here and there. You can see it's not taking up more writing room. It's not doing anything to like inhibit the spread or make the spread less functional, but it's layering in details that really makes a spread feel more complete. So I thought I definitely wanted to bring in some washi tape near all of those beautiful inspirational cards. I still had a few random paper pieces here and there that I thought, you know what, I might as well try to find places for them. So cute little acorn, we're going to cut it off. Whenever I cut off anything, I do like to try to reuse it. So we're going to flip it over, add it on this side. The other thing I wanted to use, I love this measuring tape washi. This is some older washi from Illustrated Faith, but I find I use it all of the time. This particular color is just this gorgeous kind of linen color that I think really pops nicely on the page. So we're going to add that in a few spots. I do need to cut it off down here. It was just a little bit thick for down here at the bottom of the page. So I'm going to cut this off, and then we're going to add it in two other spots. Adding washi tape on a horizontal spread is a great way. See how there's space between the days of the week? It's a great way to add like a splash of color on your page without taking up the functional space. So you can see I can add right there and up here, and it's not going to take up any of that functional space that I'm really desperate for in my faith planning spreads, but it's still going to bring that color all around. Last thing I decided I needed something in the lower left-hand corner. I just felt like I wanted to anchor the spread a little bit more. So I did have a couple of pieces left. We can add a little acorn right here and then a flower right here. You can see I'm just playing with all those little pieces, trying to utilize every last thing so I don't have anything left over. And the last thing I'm going to do, we're going to add a little pumpkin over in the left hand bottom corner. Like I said, to give a little weight to that corner, to give a little bit more balance to the spread. It just felt like some negative space that I wanted to fill ever so slightly. It's going to hang off the page. I don't want to take up a ton of the writing room by putting a big piece there. We're just going to kind of encroach, take up a little space, but really just bring a little color down to that corner. That is going to be it for this faith planning spread. I'm so excited to use this layout next week. It was definitely a labor of love putting it all together, and I cannot wait to hear what you all think of it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. As always, I will link the supplies that I used down in the description box below. I want to give a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. We're having a fabulous time over in Patreon. The month of November is all about stamping, Stamping 101. So feel free to join us. There's actually a bonus going on for all new members that join before November 10th. You will receive a bonus set of stickers, some physical Happy Mail from me. So definitely head over to Patreon and give it a try. All right. I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.